Right now, home sellers across America are making a massive mistake that's costing them tens of thousands of dollars. They're panicking because their houses aren't selling like they used to, and instead of adapting to the new reality, they're doing exactly the opposite of what they should be doing. I'm seeing sellers refuse to drop their prices, skip professional staging, and ignore their realtor's advice because they can't accept that the market has completely flipped. So if you're planning to sell your house, you need to know what's really happening out there and why seller panic is spreading like wildfire. If you're a seller who's feeling stuck, or even a real estate agent seeing the same thing, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what's happening in your market too. Remember when houses sold in 48 hours with multiple offers? Those days are dead and buried. I'm talking about when you could slap a for sale sign in your yard and have 3 cash offers by lunch. That world doesn't exist anymore, but sellers are still acting like it does. Let me paint you a picture of what we had during the COVID boom. Mortgage rates were sitting below 3%. First-time buyers were jumping into bidding wars like it was Black Friday shopping. We had people waiving inspections, offering cash over asking price, and literally waiting in line in front of a door just to be the first ones in the open houses. Sellers were kings. They could name their price and watch buyers fight over who got to pay the most. Here's what's actually happening now, and these numbers should scare you. Housing inventory just hit over 500,000 homes, the highest we've seen since 2013. Days on market jumped from 45 days to 51 days between today and 3 months ago. And unsold homes are up 21% compared to last year. That's not a small shift. That's a complete market flip. The problem is that sellers are still living in 2021. They think that if they wait long enough, those crazy bidding wars will come back. They're pricing their houses like buyers are still desperate. And trust me on this, they're not. When mortgage rates are pushing 7%, first-time buyers can't afford to play anymore. They were the people driving all this demand, and they've been priced out of the game. Here's how we got into this mess. When rates started climbing, sellers got spooked, and lots of them put their selling plans on hold because it was difficult for them to buy as well. So they created this artificial shortage by refusing to sell. Now the shortage is reversing fast, and all those homes that should have been sold 2 years ago are flooding the market at once. It's supply and demand economics, and the supply side just exploded. I'm seeing sellers who listed at peak prices watching their houses sit for 3, 4, even 6 months. Very few showings, no offers, nothing. Meanwhile, they're still paying the mortgage, utilities, and maintenance on a house nobody wants at that price. In March, when the spring market should have been heating up, 23% of all listings had to cut their prices. 23%. That's not normal market activity. Warren Buffett's team is warning about home price cuts across the country. When some of the most respected market analysts start talking about price drops, you better pay attention. They don't make predictions lightly. And here's the scariest part of all this. Sellers lost all their negotiating power overnight. The market completely flipped from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And most sellers didn't get the memo. They're still trying to dictate terms when buyers now hold all the cards. But the real terror comes from how sellers are responding to this new reality. If you're into real estate trends like this, don't forget to subscribe. I post every week to help buyers, sellers, and even agents stay ahead of the curve. I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm on a mission to reach 2,000. Your support means so much and really helps me grow this channel. I'm watching sellers make the same 3 deadly mistakes that guarantee their house won't sell. It's like watching someone drive straight into a brick wall when they could have just turned the steering wheel. Here's what seller panic looks like. Fear takes over and makes people do exactly the wrong thing. Instead of adapting to the new market, they double down on strategies that worked 2 years ago. They get emotional about their house and forget it's a business transaction. The emotional thinking is what's costing them serious money. Mistake number 1 is overpricing because they refuse to accept current market values. They think they can wait it out until buyers come to their senses. I hear sellers say things like, "I know what my house is worth," or "I'm not going to give it away." Meanwhile, their house sits on the market for months while they bleed money on mortgage payments, utilities, and maintenance. And here's the reality check. Overpricing is the kiss of death in today's market. When you overprice your house, it gets stale. Buyers don't just wonder what's wrong with it. They start feeling like they'd be a fool to pay full price for something that's been sitting untouched for 8 weeks. That hesitation kills momentum. It creates doubt and opens the door for low offers. So after your house sits for 60 days, price cuts start to look desperate. Buyers smell blood in the water and go in even lower. I've seen sellers who started just 5% too high end up selling for 10% below market value because their house got stigmatized. Also, if you're a real estate agent watching this, let me know in the comments. I watch other agents' videos too, and I love seeing or just simply understanding how this shift is playing out around the country. Mistake number 2 is assuming your house will sell itself and hiring an agent who thinks a smartphone and a prayer are a marketing plan. In today's market, staging and professional photography aren't optional. Buyers aren't desperate, they're picky. They're scrolling through hundreds of listings, and if your house doesn't immediately grab their attention, it's getting skipped. Yes, staging might cost a little more upfront in some cases, but the return is worth it. It helps buyers emotionally connect with the space and imagine themselves living there, and that's what sells homes. I actually include professional staging in my top-tier marketing package with no upfront cost to the seller. Not every agent offers that, but the great ones do. So before you assume staging is too expensive, talk to your agent about what options they have to offer you. As for photography, this should never fall on the seller. Your agent should be hiring a professional, period. If the listing photos look like they were taken from the backseat of a moving car, buyers won't even give it a second look. Okay, so maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but I've seen some of those listings, and honestly, even photos from the newest iPhone aren't good enough. It's not just about the camera. It's about the angles, the lighting, the editing. It's about what a true pro knows how to capture. Your house might be beautiful in person, but if it doesn't look amazing online, no one's showing up to find out. Mistake number 3 is ignoring your realtor's advice because you think the agent just wants a quick commission. Look, I get it. Some agents do have commission breath and will tell you whatever you want to hear. But if you're working with a reputable agent and they're telling you to drop the price or stage the house, they're usually right. Fighting your realtor's market advice is like arguing with your doctor about your blood pressure results. I had a situation not too long ago with a FSBO seller, someone I actually tried to help. My buyer made a strong, reasonable offer, and even though it wasn't full asking, it reflected the market at the time. The seller wouldn't budge. I even gave him some honest advice on pricing and presentation, just trying to be helpful. He didn't want to hear it. We ended up moving on, but I kept an eye on that listing. No staging, poor photos, and priced way too high. 6 months later, it sold, but for significantly less than what the buyer had offered in the beginning. That stubbornness cost him thousands. The biggest mistakes sellers make today is refusing to accept that the rules have changed. You can't fight the market and expect to win. Smart sellers are doing something very different, and they're still walking away with strong results. While panicked sellers are getting crushed, smart sellers are using 3 strategies to still get top dollar. The difference between winners and losers in this market comes down to accepting reality instead of fighting it. So what does it actually mean to accept the current market? It means you stop pretending it's still 2021. You stop waiting for buyers to come back with cash offers over your asking price. You work with the market you have, not the market you want. Strategy number 1 is getting an updated comparative market analysis focused on the last 3 months, not old data. Don't use sales from 6 months ago, and please don't use sales from last year. The market changes fast, and you need to know what's happening right now in your neighborhood. Smart sellers ask their agents to pull recent sales data every 30 days to stay current. Here's the key part about pricing. You want to price slightly under market trends, not above them. This attracts buyers instead of chasing the market down with multiple cuts. When you price aggressively from the start, you create competition among the buyers who are still active. I've seen houses just priced 3% under market value get multiple offers in the first week. Strategy number 2 is positioning your home like a product, not just a place. In today's market, it's not enough to list your home. You have to launch it. That means the right staging, the right visuals, and the right messaging to stand out in a crowded space. Your agent should create a full marketing plan that tells a story. What makes your house unique? Who is it perfect for? And why is it a better value than the competition? From compelling listing descriptions to eye-catching videos, social media, agent outreach, and even neighborhood highlights. This is what makes your home rise to the top when buyers are overwhelmed with choices. In other words, smart sellers don't just put their home on the market. They make sure it hits the market with strategy. Strategy number 3 is highlighting your home's value in a way that speaks to buyers without relying on emotion. You can't just list your home and hope buyers figure out what makes it special. You have to clearly show them. That doesn't mean overselling your personal memories. It means focusing on the features that attract today's buyers. Don't just say updated kitchen. Say quartz countertop, a gas range, and a space to entertain. Don't just say great location, say minutes to I-95, shops, restaurants, and top-rated schools. I just worked with a seller here in Maryland who got this right. He priced his home just under recent comps, staged every room, and we built a marketing plan around his renovated primary bath, corner lot, and proximity to weekend farmers market. It sold in 12 days, just over asking. Meanwhile, a nearly identical home down the street sat for 2 months with 0 offers. Bottom line, price gets attention, but smart marketing converts that attention into offers. Strategic pricing isn't about being desperate. It's about positioning your home to compete and win in today's market. By the way, if you're thinking about selling in Maryland, I offer complimentary strategy calls. No pressure, just honest advice. You'll find all my contact information in the description box below. The scariest thing right now isn't the market shift. It's the sellers who refuse to shift with it. I hear it a lot. I'm not willing to lose $20,000. But here's the thing. You're not losing money by pricing at market value. You're recognizing that the peak already passed. That value is gone. It was missed. We can't control the market. You can't. I can't. No one can. The only thing we can control is how we respond to it. And refusing to adjust doesn't bring that peak back. It just costs you more time, more carrying costs, and eventually a worse outcome. So if you're planning to sell, accept the market for what it is right now. Price strategically. Present your home like a product. Work with an agent who knows how to position it right before your listing becomes just another example of what not to do. The market has changed, but the sellers who adapt, they're still winning. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Vallario, an award-winning agent here in Maryland with 21 years of experience, and I'm here to help you navigate this market the smart way. If you're thinking about selling, buying, or relocating to Maryland, I'm your girl. Until next time, bye.